Are you tired of not looking as good as you want, despite spending hours and hours in the gym and thinking you're doing everything correct? Well, you're not alone. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to actually get results. This is how to look good as a natural lifter. I've got all of my results completely naturally. I've worked through every single excuse that you could find to not get results under the sun. You know, I travel the world full time right now. I've worked multiple jobs, over 100 hours per week. I've had scheduled family commitments that could keep me from getting results, yet I've still managed to build and maintain a good physique year round, despite whatever commitments or setbacks you may think you could experience. I've coached hundreds of other guys to achieve a body like this, and more importantly, optimal health through my Physique Accelerator protocol. And I'm the creator of the Golden Ratio Body training style, which basically lets guys add muscle wherever they want on their body to achieve a perfectly proportioned aesthetic physique without getting that chunky bodybuilder or powerlifter look. So the common problem I typically see with guys, especially natural lifters, is that they've trained and they've maxed out their newbie gains. They've trained and they think they've eaten well for, 2 years now. They've made some progress and they have somewhat of a sort of respectable physique, but they're, quite a large distance away from that elite top level physique, especially as a natural. You might be hitting the gym regularly. You might be training hard, training heavy, but you're still struggling to see that sharp, defined muscle that you wish you had on your body. One of the key reasons you don't actually look good or respectable as a natural lifter is because you're constantly in this body fat range that it's around like 13 to like 18% body fat. Obviously you train, you can sort of tell with your shirt off, you go to the gym, but it's not like you look like those guys on Instagram or anything, right? So the biggest problem is guys getting to this shape where they are lean. They can maintain this, sub 12% physique year round while still feeling great. Because everyone can get lean. You can get to 6% body fat. I've done it before for natural bodybuilding competitions. But doing it in a way that makes you feel great and so you can sustain it long term is the key that most guys are missing. So what I did with one of my clients, Ben, is he was training for, 4 years. He'd maxed out his newbie gains. He'd had a somewhat of a respectable physique. He had some muscle mass, but he was still around like 18% body fat, right? So what we did is we put him into the Physique Accelerator protocol. We aligned his body with the natural world, and he very, very quickly, in under 4 months, got down to 11% body fat. He had a full six-pack, well-defined muscles, and he actually got his first girlfriend. So it was a really great success story for Ben, and everyone can do it. And all the hundreds of guys I've taken through this protocol get the same results because it works universally across the board. And you might think, okay, I just need to get lean and then I'm going to look great. And sure, being lean is a component of this. But more importantly, it's not just about being lean and having big muscles. It's about the proportion of those muscles to one another. And this is where the golden ratio body comes in. So if you do not know, the golden ratio at the very basic level is a ratio of 1 to 1.618. And this is the ratio between your waist and your shoulder width that is the ideal ratio for an aesthetically pleasing body. And that is the surface level of it. But there's so many other measurements that need to add up to give a perfect proportion, like your bicep size to your shoulder size, your chest size to your forearm size, your wrist to your calf. There's so many other calculations that go into this to get that perfect aesthetically pleasing body. You can see this in Hollywood physiques. Usually, they're not massive. It's not like the Hulk is the ideal body type, right? You can think of like Henry Cavill in Immortals. He's not overly huge, but the proportion of his muscles are so well done that he looks amazing even with not that much muscle mass. Another great example of this is Brad Pitt in Fight Club or Troy. He's not overly massive. He's not stepping on a bodybuilding stage anytime soon, but he looks really good and he looks healthy. And this is because they are obeying the golden ratio body principle, where it's the proportion of the muscles to one another that gives that aesthetically pleasing look. So for most guys to actually achieve this, you need to be getting under 12% body fat, so you can at least be lean enough for the muscles to show everywhere and you can have that sharp, toned, and defined look. Now, what you've actually been watching this video for, how to actually achieve this, right? So I've explained what it actually is and why it works. It's basically the golden ratio body, and you have to align yourself with the natural world to achieve this. So what I mean by that is there's 6 key areas across your life that should be working together to easily obtain this natural state of health. And when you're in this natural state of health, as a byproduct, you're going to get a great physique and you're going to achieve that golden ratio body. So this sort of flips the script on the conventional bodybuilding practices or the conventional fitness industry, where it's just get a great physique no matter at the cost to your health. What I mean by that is typically PEDs, steroids, things like that, and expensive supplements that don't really do that much. So if you want to do this as a natural without taking substances that are going to harm your body, this is how to do it. The first step is to analyze where your body is right now. What muscle groups are lacking, what are overpronounced, and how to bring balance to the body. So the easiest way to do this is to use the golden ratio calculator. So I have that linked below. It's a free download. You can use it for free and see where you stack up, so you can see which muscle groups you need to add mass to and which ones probably need to slim down. Once you have this starting point, really define what the end goal is for you. What is going to fulfill this criteria of feeling like you look amazing? So basically what you want to do is construct your training regimen around your current physique and where you want to get the physique to. Typically for most guys, we see the issue is they have an underdeveloped upper chest and an overdeveloped lower chest, right? This is typically from doing, a lot of bench pressing, trying to chase big numbers, but they're not actually adding muscle mass to the correct area of their physique that's going to complete it. So incorporating more of these incline and upwards angle movements to bias the upper chest is going to build that area and sort of minimizing these lower chest movements that you may not need to bring a perfect proportion to your physique. Another one is the shoulders. A lot of guys have underdeveloped shoulders compared to the rest of their body. They might have big arms, they might have big quads, big chest even, but their shoulders just don't stack up. So using shoulder training and specifically medial and rear delt training to your advantage and doing it often will bring that pronounced, shoulder look and really fulfill that base criteria of the 1 to 1.618 for the golden ratio body. That is one component of achieving this, and achieving this easily is your training, but there's so many others. The next step is nutrition, right? You have to be eating foods that are going to fuel your body. So the best thing to stick to is natural whole food sources. Eat ingredients, not prepared foods. So you want to stay away from processed food, stay away from refined sugar, stay away from fake salt. Just eat real whole foods that are naturally produced and you'll be 90% of the way there. Remove all of the vegetable oils, seed oils, and eat high quality, high fatty meals that are going to fuel your body and make you feel amazing. You don't have to eat chicken and rice with a side of broccoli 5 times a day just to get lean. It might work, but it's going to leave you feeling horrible and you're not going to sustain it long term. We want to put a protocol into place that you can do now over, say, the next 10 weeks, but also for the rest of your life, so you can maintain this amazing golden ratio body that you work so hard to get. The next step is the environment that you put yourself into. As you can see, I'm outside in the sun. You should be outside in the natural world as much as possible. I've got bare feet on. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but I'm grounded. I'm restructuring my blood cells to actually allow for improved blood flow and improved recovery. It's little things like this that you can improve across your lifestyle and the environment you put yourself into to recover better, train harder, and perform better and get a better physique at the end of the day. All these little things will give little 1% improvements, but if there's 80 things that give a 1% improvement, there's a lot left on the table by optimizing these small areas of your life. And a lot of this that I take guys through on the protocol to actually achieve a great physique and great health, it's not so much about what we're putting in, it's what we're leaving out. The modern world is so full of these toxic substances that are hindering your hormonal balance, hindering blood flow, hindering your recovery, hindering your output to actually perform at your potential. So leaving things out is just as important as what we're putting in. We want to really minimize the amount of time we spend indoors under artificial light. We want to maximize the time we spend outside under the sun. This is just one example of hundreds that need to be used so you can align your body with the natural world and use the power of the world to your advantage rather than fighting against it. There's a reason people feel better when they're out in the countryside rather than living in the city. In the city, you're bombarded with these environmental toxins. It's such an unnatural environment that people aren't meant to be in. Whereas when you go out into the country, you all of a sudden, you're free of stress, you're feeling amazing, you're out in the sun. This is another great example that you can see it, and you've probably experienced it in your own life. This is a key area that you need to optimize, is the environment that you put yourself in. A massively overlooked part of actually getting results is what you do outside of the gym. It's your recovery. When you're training, you want to be training at such a high intensity, you're really damaging the body and really giving it a reason to change. Your body is not going to change unless it has a reason to. And then it is our job to facilitate an environment which will allow for optimal healing and optimal recovery process, so you can get right back to training as soon as possible. This is one of the 6 key pillars of getting a golden ratio body, is your recovery. You want to sleep like a king. You want to be in tune with your central nervous system, so you know when you're overtraining and when you're not training enough. You want to understand breathing techniques and how to actually breathe better, so you can facilitate whatever nervous system you want to activate at particular times in the day. You want to get in tune with your digestion and learn practices that are going to actually aid with digestion, aid with lymph flow and lymph drainage. You want to help detoxification processes through the liver and aid that in getting these toxins out of the body. This is all a part of the fundamental recovery pillar. Gaining knowledge on this aspect is just as important as your training, and it's so often overlooked by so many guys. They think, okay, I train during the week, I've eaten my chicken and rice every single day, 5 times a day for 6 days of the week. Now it's Saturday, I'm gonna go out, drink a whole bunch of booze, and then get 2 hours sleep, and then just keep going the next day. It may not seem like a big deal, but having this mentality and this approach to your life, you're gonna be chronically under-recovered all of the time. And you're leaving a lot of your potential on the table if you ignore this recovery pillar so strongly. Just like you wouldn't want to skip a day in the gym, you shouldn't skip a good night's rest. The consistency with your recovery is an absolute key. You want to be good every single day of the week. Make sleep a non-negotiable for you. If training's non-negotiable, sleep should be as well. Another massive area is your mentality and your mindset towards your health. If you believe something can happen, you can achieve it. If you do not believe it to happen, the first hurdle that will come up, you'll fall over. That's why mental training and actually figuring out and reprogramming your mind towards a healthy, not just physical state, but mental state as well, will allow you to continue these practices for the rest of your life, no matter what hurdles come up. So your mental training is another massive key that's very, very often overlooked in how you approach your health and fitness. And the final key area is the community that you are a part of. Are you a part of a community that cherishes your input, that encourages you to do better, that wants to see you strive for your potential? Or are you a part of a community of guys that just wants to, oh, let's go out on the weekend, the big game's on Sunday, let's go to the bar, who are actively taking you away from your goals, right? You've heard that, everyone's heard that saying, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you just spend your time with guys that watch the big game and drink every single night, you're probably going to be one of them. If you surround yourself with guys who are every single day getting after their goal, they're trying to improve their health, they're trying to be the most vital version of themselves and really reach their potential, guess what? You're going to be one of those guys too. So it's extremely important what community you put yourself into so that you can facilitate an environment that is going to allow you to thrive. The most common mistake I see people make, either getting or maintaining their dream body or a great physique, is that they're doing a process that they don't enjoy. Again, I've said this like 5 times in this video, is you need to be putting something into place that you can do, let's say for 12 weeks, 3 months, that you can do for the rest of your life. Because at the end of the day, eventually those 3 months are going to be over. And then you're going to have to go to something that is going to work long term. And if you haven't created a protocol that you enjoy doing and that gets you results, you're probably not going to be doing it long term. So you want to create a structure that you can do for the rest of your life. And this is the biggest thing that I see guys mess up on. And then when this happens, they do something that they don't enjoy for say 12 weeks. They're like a typical 12-week program, something like that. They go through these 12 weeks, they do something they don't like, they get results, they go back to what they were doing before and they see the results crumbling away. At this stage, that is when guys typically reach for the performance enhancing drugs. They typically reach for that extra boost so they can get back to that shape that they were in when they were doing something they didn't enjoy. And this is like chasing the tail and just going around in circles, because you're doing something that you don't enjoy to get results, then you're going to lose the results because you're going back to what you enjoy, then you're going to do something else you don't enjoy to get results, and then the cycle continues. So would you rather go in circles, or would you rather just pick a path from the get-go that is going to get you results and it's going to allow you to maintain them long term? It's a pretty easy answer if you ask me. So basically that's my advice on how to look good as a natural lifter. Keep it simple, use the natural world to your advantage, stop fighting against it, and make the process something that you enjoy so you can do it long term. Use the golden ratio tool so you can see where you stack up, where you need to add muscle mass, where you need to lose body fat to build an aesthetically pleasing physique. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe down below, give it a like, or comment if this has helped you, or comment if you want to see anything similar to this in the future. Share this with a friend that's struggling to make progress as a natural lifter. Send them the golden ratio calculator so they can see what exactly they need to do to get to a good body. If you're looking for a more in-depth explanation of what these 6 pillars are and how to actually incorporate them into your life, click the link in the description so that you can watch my full 30-minute breakdown of how to actually do this. And let me know in the comments below, what is your biggest challenge when reaching your physical improvement goals, so I can make videos helping you guys out in the future.